Go ahead, Anthony. Give us a read.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement of this sports season, whether you're following the NFL, the NBA, or both. There's no better time to jump in on the action. If you haven't tried it yet, Prize Picks is the simplest way to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and if you get them right, you win. It takes less than 60 seconds to make your lineup, and you can play anywhere with Prize Picks operates, including California, Texas, and Georgia. Plus, if one of your players leaves early with an injury, the injury reboot will save your lineup from a loss. So download Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
All right, well, Paul DePodesta wasn't right very often as the what do you call it?
Chief Strategy
Officer of the Browns. Now he's the general manager for the Rockies, going from the worst franchise in football to the worst franchise in baseball.
I don't know if anyone has asked him yet if he's actually going to move to Denver, if he's going to try and do the job from La Jolla.
I bet
I would imagine. I mean, he's got to move to Denver. I'm joking, but I'm not. Like, it's.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's insane.
Did you guys hear what he said, though, by the way?
I saw it. I didn't hear it.
I saw the clip.
Yeah, go ahead. You want to set it up?
Well,
Do you want to set it up, Mike? Or
Mike, set it
No,
up.
he
It's
was
ready
did
to
his
go.
intro press conference with the Rockies, and
He was asked about Deshaun Watson.
yeah.
Here's what he said.
In your last position in Cleveland, you received a lot of blame for the Deshaun Watson trade that objectively was a failure with that organization. Is that fair? And if so, how can you be assured that you won't do something like that again here now in Colorado?
The previous question was about big swings, huh?
Risk.
Yeah. I was also calling plays for the Browns, and look, and I've said this before, I think whenever you have a significant player decision, whether it's a trade, big free agent signing, number 1 draft pick, whatever it is, like those are organizational decisions. Right? Those are done collaboratively, like a lot of people on board. And if you're a senior leader of that organization at that time, then you own that decision. I mean, you do. We all do. So that's the way I feel about that. And it's the way I feel about sort of almost all the decisions we made there in Cleveland. I absolutely, own them all. And look, I've said this now for probably 25 plus years. Like, I lost my no-hitter a long time ago. Like a long, long time ago. Like I'm not perfect. I haven't been perfect. I won't be perfect going forward. Like we are definitely going to miss again. But hopefully we learn from that, and we learn from both the successes and the failures, and we get better the next time we need to make a significant decision. And I do feel like I've been able to do that through the course of my career. I feel confident that I'm a lot better today than I was 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 20 years ago. And I hope 5 years from now I'm a lot better than I am sitting here today.
There's a variety of annoying things he said there, but I don't see how that's a shot at Kevin Stefanski.
Well, before we get to that,
Yeah.
I'm all for, I love throwing fastballs at guys as far as questions go. How can we be assured you're not going to do that? Is there a
What a stupid question.
Is there a sexual predator in the Major League Baseball with
yes,
Trevor Bauer? I wasn't. Trevor Bauer, come on down.
And the guy from the Rays, who was a really good player, and then he's
Wander Franco. Wander Franco's going under the.
Wander Franco.
He's going under the prison.
Yeah.
But I guess if the Rockies sign Trevor Bauer,
then was it kind of silly?
Then you'll know what Paul's role was.
Everybody's going to screw up. I mean, nobody bats 100. He's right, but he said so many ridiculous things. That was not a shot at Stefanski joking about the play calling.
When I saw the initial tweet, I was like, damn, he took a shot.
No.
And then you watch the clip, and it's pretty evident. He was saying it in a joking manner.
Yes.
I don't think it was. I think he was just trying to be playful.
Why would he take a shot?
He's awkward. Like, it came off awkward, but that's just who he is. Yeah, that's just Paul DePodesta.
And I know, everybody wants to just pile on all of these guys right now and set them all on fire. I get it. The one thing, in terms of the Deshaun thing, Paul's name really never, at least to me, I have no idea what he thought, what his role was. I don't know. His name never really came up in terms of the pursuit of Deshaun. It was never Paul. It was always Andrew, Kevin, and Jimmy.
Yeah.
Never was. Have we ever once sat here and talked about Paul DePodesta's role
Jay has.
in the acquisition?
Jay blames him for everything.
Well, I know. But I'm just Andrew was the first one in. I've said that from the beginning. Everyone has made that clear. Andrew was doing work on Deshaun.
And by the way, most of us thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, I did too. I always said I understood why they did it. I totally understood why they made the move that they did. It obviously didn't work out. But Andrew was doing work on Deshaun in 2019 when he was in Philly, that year in Philly. He was the first one in on wanting to do this. ultimately Jimmy was the last one that wanted to pull the trigger. Paul's name just never came up in one form or another.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, he did say the thing in Vegas about it being it's not always unanimous on things. That I sort of raised an eyebrow to that. Did you guys talk about that? Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah, we did.
Paul said that
did.
in Vegas at the GM meetings. He had a line in there, something about you're not always going to get a unanimous on certain things.
It's like last week, literally last week we talked about it.
And
I was not here last week.
Oh, maybe you weren't. That's why.
I don't remember the exact. But
he basically said in any kind of big decision, it's never going to be unanimous. There's always going to be pushback.
Okay.
That's good for an organization when there is a little bit of back
I
and
agree.
forth.
That's true.
I totally agree with that. And the only reason I bring it up is because it's been like Andrew and Kevin were on board.
Yeah.
So if it was not unanimous, he was the one.
Right.
It wasn't that made it not unanimous. But I have no idea. I don't want to. He's gone. It doesn't matter
at this point.
But I don't. But his name just never came up in the Deshaun. He'll be linked to that forever. Clearly.
Here's part of the.
They all will be. They'll all have to wear that for the rest of their.
And I've been very hard on Kevin the fact that he doesn't answer questions, and that pisses me off.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, especially after yesterday when Jim Schwartz is ripping the defense and the other guys are actually saying
He's
things.
the only one. He's the only one that won't ever say anything.
Right.
It's
so
weird
terrible.
that it's not an organizational approach. It's a Kevin Stefanski
I know,
specific
it's so
approach,
weird.
and it makes it look even worse in totality when you have the other guys openly.
Much worse.
Honestly, Jimmy should just talk every Sunday. He wants to be Jerry. Just be Jerry.
Yeah, do it.
Stand in the back of the room every Sunday.
Say all kinds of goofy stuff.
Talk every Sunday. If you want to be Jerry, then be Jerry.
We should try to get Jimmy on be on this show. Like Jerry goes on that one radio station all the time.
Well, after all the things that have been said about the Haslam's on this show, I highly doubt that
you know what?
this will be their first stop.
But Jerry does the same thing, and those dudes down on the fan, it's the ticket 105.3 in Dallas.
Whatever. You know what? I have more respect for him if he did. He had the guts to come on here, even though we rip him.
If he comes on, you know where he's going. He's going to the Partners. He's not coming here.
Yeah. Because he's soft, and they'll kiss
Well,
his ass.
I mean, that's the whole reason of the partnership.
Yeah.
That's why you pay all that money.
I know. It's ridiculous. They were on 2 radio stations. The whole thing was a disgrace when it first started. I hated it and whatever. But anyway, part of the thing is, let me say this, to defend all these guys when they talk, especially a guy like Paul DePodesta, okay? I was annoyed by 10 different things he said there, which I'm not going to get into. But these guys, they don't talk for a living. So many of these guys, they're a bunch of like numbers geeks, and they don't know how to communicate. They all get the same lessons because Andrew and Kevin talk the same as Antonelli and Chernoff. Now, Antonelli and Chernoff are less stiff, and they're better, and they're more experienced. And I think it helps that Chernoff's dad is in media. I think that's helped him over the years. But they all speak the same way.
I mean, Barry's dad's in media.
Barry's with media, decent media, but as a coach, now I agree with you in the DePodesta, the analytics guys, the front office guys, fine. A coach is one of his primary responsibilities is the ability to communicate and the ability to send a clear message to your team.
Yeah,
and I have a very good friend of mine who's now a head coach in a situation that he is the first time that he has to communicate to players directly and deliver a message to a team on a night in, night out basis. And the first thing he came to me when he got hired was, I need your help. Like, this is not my strength as a human. How do I get better at this? And I'm like, you're coming to the wrong person. Go talk to the guys you've worked with who have coached in the past. I could talk about random stuff on YouTube. Not the same. But as a coach, one of your primary responsibilities is to be able to communicate a clear message. And when you're sitting in front of a press room, you don't have to just ignore everything. You don't have to give everything away
some
either.
people are better at talking to
but
players
it's
than they are in
part of
media.
the job, though.
Yeah,
like communication is a huge part of the job.
You are 1,000% right. Like, obviously, what you do on the field is most important.
Yeah.
And if you have success on the field, you can beat Belichick and you can
right.
give everyone the finger because you're winning Super Bowls. But when you're not winning and you are not communicating, you are the face of the franchise and you are the conduit to the public. And that's why they have PR departments. That's why PR departments work with these guys. That's why they prep them on these are the questions. This is what's going on today. Be prepared for this. We need to talk about that. You need to have an answer for this. And then there are specialists outside. I'm not going to say who, but I know of someone who used to work in television who is now a consultant who works with these teams and with some of the players and with some of the head coaches on how to get the message across and how to present yourself to the media. And Kevin's just not interested.
No.
And when they had a bad year a couple of years ago, they did a better job. I can't go into all the details, but they did a better job behind the scenes of pulling the curtain back a little bit and letting people in a little bit more. And then they had a good year, and then it was right back to the way it was.
Right. Yeah.
And
it just looks worse. It's
and the frustrating thing, I've gotten to know Kevin a little bit. I don't think we're nearly as close as everybody thinks we are. It's kind of funny to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't talk to him. Like we don't have much of a relationship, because especially when they're going through it like this.
Yeah.
You sort of leave guys alone when they're going. But I have had conversations with him in the past. He's extremely personable. Like he's actually really funny, and I don't know why he won't let people see that side of him. This is just the route that he's chosen.
It helps you.
100% it helps
Fans
you.
and media, if you're nice and if you're communicative and if you show your personality a little bit, will give you more of a benefit of the doubt.
If you give them something.
Yes.
Yeah. And he has not helped his cause with the way that he goes about this, and he just doesn't care. And I went round and round with Ty Lue about that because Ty used to sit up there. I don't know if you remember this. Ty used to sit up there. If he didn't want to answer a question, he'd go, I don't remember. And people went, of course he remembers. Yeah. He doesn't want to answer it. And I was like, Ty, you can't do that. You can't say I don't remember. You look like an idiot when you sit up there and you say I don't remember. He's like, I don't care. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
So sometimes they don't care. Yeah. But you are right. They are the fake. Kevin talks 3 times a week, 4 times a week.
Yeah.
He talks on Zoom on Monday. They're off on Tuesday. He talks on Wednesday. He talks. The coordinators talk one day.
The coordinators talk Thursday. He talks Friday.
He's just pissing
Saturday.
everybody off.
And there's just no need for it. You can give a little bit and get a lot farther. But this is the path that he's chosen. So.
And when it comes to the coaches in football, for example, I'll use Hard Knocks as a good example. Remember when they did the AFC North Hard Knocks? And they show you the little snippets from each
it was
team
so
meeting.
Different. Yeah.
And some guys are better communicators than others.
Yeah.
And I totally understand that not everyone comes from the same background. They're not on the same page. But as a head coach of any organization, communication is one of the paramount pillars to becoming a good head coach. And when you pull everything back and you decide to hide everything, and your record is what the Browns' record is, it leads us and it leads fans and it leads social media to speculate, come up with conspiracy theories, because you don't give us anything of actual value to hold on to.
And there's no reason for us to go to bat for you.
Exactly.
Right. And it was clear in that Hard Knocks that Tomlin and Harbaugh were much better communicators. They were looser. Kevin, even when he's talking to his team, seems so stiff. When they would show those meetings in the meeting rooms, like he always came off very stiff.
This isn't a perfect comparison, but, and I don't want to keep bringing up the NBA, but I think it applies. When I was covering the NBA, when the years when LeBron was here, LeBron was so good with those of us who were with him all the time, who saw him every day.
Donovan's like that now.
Donovan gets it too. Donovan's dad works PR.
Yeah.
And LeBron had to go to Miami to figure this out. And LeBron figured this out in Miami. And then when he came back up here, if you don't talk, we talk for you.
Right.
And that's the worst thing you could have.
Yes.
And that's what Kyrie could never figure out when Kyrie was here.
Right.
If you don't talk, we are going to talk for you. And you don't want us talking for you. Right. You want to do the talking yourself.
Yeah.
And LeBron would talk every day. And he would come around to us, you guys good? Like, we would be at a practice in Orlando, and he'd walk by, you good? You need anything? And we're like, no, man, like, take the day. We're good. We'll get you tomorrow. What superstar? Like, the guys just don't do that anymore.
Right.
And I understand it's a coach in the face of the organization versus one superstar player.
Yeah.
But it's the same concept of you have to give them something. You have to give something.
Right.
And when you give nothing, it leads to, I mean, I have seen some batshit crazy arguments and debates this year. And a lot of it stems from the fact that they won't say anything.
Right.
So then it leads
we're all frustrated.
It leads to stupid, wild conspiracy theories and just idiocy. That a lot of it could be avoided if somebody over there would just open their friggin' mouth.
I mean,
and they don't.
The way he's answered questions about Shedeur Sanders and
crazy.
Deshaun Watson, or especially Shedeur, but Deshaun Watson too recently, it's ridiculous.
Yep.
And that's what leads to all this other nonsense, and it's gotten out of control. And I was talking with Zach this morning, and he's right. Like, you know, if Dylan Gabriel were playing great, then the questions would be stupid.
Yeah.
But Dylan Gabriel's playing as bad as any quarterback can play.
Yes.
And so the questions are reasonable. And yet he doesn't even answer it.
No.
As if it's an absurd question. I shouldn't even say he's taking it that way, because it's not like he's being belligerent about it. He's just not answering the question. He doesn't even answer like simple questions.
Yeah, I know.
And then
I've given up.
Yeah.
And that's the wrong. I know I should go in there and interrogate him and say, why won't you answer this? Why won't? But he's not going to answer it.
No.
So I just don't even go in on his post games now. I go work a locker room. I'm not there very often. I'm going to try and get down there today after the show, but I'm not in Berea very often.
Yeah.
A couple times, once or twice a week, counting game days. And I just skip his stuff. Like, there's no point in being there.
And it's just a fun yin and yang of how Kevin Stefanski handles media and Kenny Atkinson.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it on a number of cases. We don't have to dive into it
And it doesn't
again.
make one any better of
one's
a
not
coach
better
than
or
another.
worse.
It has nothing to do with how good of a coach you are.
No.
But it has everything to do with the image you portray and the message that you're sending.
The media likes Kenny Atkinson.
Oh, they
so
love
you're
him.
more likely to go to bat for him if, let's say, things go south, and you're more likely to say, let's give him another year. You're less likely.
And I can't say you're wrong. It shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be, but it is.
But I can't say you're wrong.
And just for honestly, and we're going to talk Cavs. We got one more segment that we're talk Cavs. Kenny came into they got smoked last night. They played terrible. And we'll appropriately crush them in a second. Kenny walked into the post-game press conference last night, sat down and said, man, we played so bad, Serena's not even here to ask a question. I don't even blame her. And then went on and said, all right, guys, rip me apart. Let me hear it.
Kevin would never do anything like that.
But, like, he made a joke, and he said, rip me apart. He said, let me hear it. We deserve it. Like, that was literally what he said. And then, you ask your questions. And
honestly, Steven Vogt's closer to Stefanski than he is to –
yeah, that's a weird one.
Vogt's so open and honest.
No, he came in with this reputation of, like, being very personable.
Yeah, but he's not.
And he is very buttoned up on the podium. So, yeah, he has gone a little bit – and, again, I don't know him that well. But he has gone a different direction than I thought he would when he got that job.
And obviously the Guardians have a very